because people go say, well, what's his credentials? How much do he know about music to be answering this question? So before we get to that question, let's give us your music credentials, and then we'll ask some music questions.
Okay. So I did the record Chopper Style from New Orleans, Chopper. I broke that record here in Texas. Mr. Magic, I Smoke, I Drank. I broke that record here in Texas.
Welcome to Soapbox Heroes. What's going on, you guys? Look, it is my pleasure to have with me Derrick Mckinney. He's a CEO. He's a motivational speaker, very smart guy. One of the things that I like about this man the most is his tenacity and the way that he attacks things. See, he don't even know that I be paying attention to all this, but I be paying attention. Look, when it comes down to the marketing, advertising, and even the way to just give a message, this man is a gorilla. What's going on with you, Derrick?
Whew, man, I hold my wallet, man. I can't afford to write a check for that one, man. Man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's an honor, it's a pleasure. I always love sitting down with good brothers, man. So thanks for having me, bro.
Man, I'm glad you're here. Look, with you. There's so much we could talk about.
Shit, let's go.
So let's go. Well, I want the people, because people should know, for those who don't know, I want to start a little bit about your background. Derrick, where are you from?
I was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
I moved to Houston when I was like, I think 11 or 12. And I've been here ever since. So I'm 40 now, so I've been here since I was about 11, 12 years old. So Houston is home.
Houston is home.
Houston is home.
Okay. What do you have going on in Houston where people say, hi, Derrick, how are you?
So I own a record company called Loud Music.
Mm-hmm.
We have an artist named Tim Ned. We have a young man named Cody Blake, a young lady named Skyra Bliss, a young lady named Chelsea Simone. I manage the Houston rapper Zero. We have a festival called Loud Fest. We just announced that we are pushing it to December 5th and 6th. Want to make sure we protect everybody during this pandemic and COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So we do 100 independent artists, 20 DJs, 3 stages over 2 days, Mechanical Bull, mobile tattoo and piercing studio. We have a pop-up barbershop, vendors, food trucks, the whole nine. Loud Fest, we do that every year. We also do a food truck festival called the Great State of Texas Food Truck Festival. We average about 6,500 people every year at that event. It's considered the most diverse festival in the city of Houston. We 50 different food trucks, every nationality, every genre.
Right.
We do live performances. So try to do a lot, man. Try to do a lot of concerts, a lot of shows, a lot of things here while we're home. You know, keep us busy, keep our nose clean.
Right, man, Derrick. I'm afraid of all them food trucks, man. I'm getting bigger by the thought.
Hey, man, listen. You gotta understand, man. It'd be so much great food, man. We have like the Cuban spot, the #1 Cuban sandwich in America. They actually won that award down in Florida. Like then we had Cousin's Maine Lobster that was on Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. We have so many different food trucks, it makes no sense. Saucy Nosh, they make these different gourmet stuffed egg rolls. They got a dessert egg roll. It's like a sweet potato pie with the candied pecans in an egg roll.
In an egg roll?
Yeah, bro. So I mean, it's it's a real deal Holyfield, man. It's a real deal Holyfield. So.
Yeah, man. Man, look, I want to talk a little bit about the music aspect, and we're going to touch on some other things. I want to ask you about just some current topics and things like that.
Dope.
When we come to the music, oftentimes we were having this conversation before we started a little bit about the current state of music. How long before you, because people go say, well, what's his credentials? How much do he know about music to be answering this question? So before we get to that question, let's give us your music credentials, and then we'll ask some music questions.
Okay. So I did the record Chopper Style from New Orleans, Chopper. I broke that record here in Texas. Mr. Magic, I Smoke, I Drank. I broke that record here in Texas. Eminem's group D12, the single Purple Pills. I brought that to Texas. Purple Ribbon All-Stars with Outkast and Sleepy Brown, and I did that record, the Kryptonite record. Did Too Short's first 2 independent albums. I worked for the clothing company Headgear Sportswear. We did all the Negro League jerseys. I did the Dr. J throwback jersey, the official Dr. J licensed jersey,
Uh-huh.
George Gervin licensed jersey, the Atlanta Black Crackers, New York Black Yankees,
Yeah.
everything. Like when Puff was wearing the Morehouse jacket on Making the Band, I gave it to him. When Nelly was wearing the
Wow.
St. Louis throwback jerseys on the Ellen DeGeneres show,
Uh-huh.
I gave it to him. Yin Yang Twins, Petey Pablo, everything on every throwback jersey Big Tigger wore on Rap City.
What?
Yeah, so I've been dabbling a little while. Did R. Kelly's last gold album.
Uh-huh.
I did the marketing, branding, PR, record servicing, tour promotions for it.
Uh-huh.
So did worked with London on the track on his single Whatever You Want or Whatever You Want. I'm sorry, with YG, Ty Dolla $ign, Young Thug, and Jeremiah.
Uh-huh.
So worked with Twista.
Yeah.
Few people.
Man, how did you get into that? How did you get into that? Because, I just wanted to play basketball or football. How'd you get into that?
You have some kids, and I use this analogy all the time. Some kids, when you see them growing up, they can just run fast.
Yeah.
That baby can sing. This baby going to be tall. I was always the businessman. I was always the entrepreneur. I was always the person that had to figure out ways to have ownership and do my own thing. And me and my homeboys used to just go out to clubs Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
In high school, we were sneaking in everywhere. And, one day I went to my car. The guy had put 6 flyers on my car. I was like, bro, why you put all these flyers on my car?
Right.
And he was like, man, because each one of them paid me $600 a week. I was like, wait a minute. I did the math. So I took all the flyers. I went home. The next day I called all 6 of them, told them I could do it for $300 or $400 a week. I got 3 of them to give me a shot.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm getting paid to get free CDs, flyers, T-shirts, and I'm going to all the clubs, getting in the clubs free. Me and all my homeboys, and so it just kind of just came so natural. I was never afraid to travel by myself at 17, 18 years old. I was never afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody, tell them what I could do,
Right.
and I could just figure it out.
Right.
Even though I was just shooting my shot, pissing in the wind, figuring it out along the way, I was 100% comfortable with that, and it just opportunity met me at the right time. I was working hard. I was aggressive. I was a go-getter. I wouldn't accept no. And then, I guess a few people recognized that and they would give me a shot.
You wouldn't accept no. Man, that's important. How important is that to be able to take rejection and to keep moving? Is that something that you notice that some people have a hard time taking rejection?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have a hard time taking rejection. 70-80% of artists today can't handle rejection, that they're not good enough or you don't like their song.
Okay.
But for me, if somebody would tell me no, I'd ask them why, and they would kind of be stunned. And I was like, no disrespect. I'm not trying to get you to change your mind, but why?
You want to get better.
Yeah, and more often than not, by me asking why, because I wanted to get better. Once they explained to me why, maybe I didn't deliver my message the right way, and I was able to give them a rebuttal.
Okay.
I was able to correct my mistake and come back to them. And that's the thing. So it's not that I didn't hear no. I hear more no's than I hear yeses.
Yeah.
So that one yes that you see me post on Instagram, just know it was like 99 no's that came from other outlets because of it. So I take every no and I'm like, let me break it down why this person said no. Why wasn't what I doing? Why wasn't it a fit for your company or your brand? Okay, I'm not hitting the right demographic for you. It's not the right look. It's not the right sound. It's not the right style.
Right.
Then I'll go in and make adjustments. And I try to make adjustments to where if I can take this one piece and make it work in 8 different markets, then that's the piece.
And if you would have just got mad at the no and never tried to find out the reason, you wouldn't have never got that perspective to change.
Yeah, I'd probably be somewhere getting off work right now.
Oh, man. So the ability to be able to adapt.
Oh, man, it's key.
It's key.
Yeah, man. It's I believe in I'm at my best when my back's against the wall. I love pressure.
Right.
I want the pressure. I need to be behind the 8-ball. I need to work in that capacity because that's when I push myself.
Yeah.
And then my normal day-to-day stuff comes because I'm so used to the pressure that, things that make most people crumble, that's when I'm like, okay, cool, we'll work it out.
That's when you shine.
Yeah, I figured it out.
That's when you shine. Look, being a business mind, this is something that I love talking to people with business minds, and I ask this question. When you were going to the clubs as a youngster and you sneaking in, were you looking at the fun or were you trying to figure out how they made money? So when you go places, Derrick, What's the first thing on your mind when you walk into an establishment?
So, true story. We was at Jamaica Club back in Houston back in the day, and I met the owner. And the owner, I was like, "Hey, man, look, we're not old enough to get in. We're not 21 and up." But I told him, "I promise you, we won't drink, we won't get in no fights. We just want to come in and dance and look at girls." He gave me a shot. I still know her to this day.
Yeah.
But I still know the DJs. I know the bouncers. I know the lady that was working the door.
Yeah.
I always make sure I built a relationship from the parking lot attendant to the guy working the back door.
Relationships.
That's above everything. Relationships are so key. This pandemic has exposed how many people don't have genuine relationships.
Right.
A lot of the guys that were blowing smoke up your ass, I can break your record, and I can do this, and I can do that. They don't have nothing to hide behind right now.
Right.
You can't hide behind the club. You can't hide behind the bottle girls, the sections. You can't hide. It really has to come down to your skill set. And there's a lot of guys in the music and entertainment period right now that realize they don't have the skill set that they've been posting and bragging about the past couple of years.
Right.
So it's only been a handful of us who've been actually able to grow and prosper in this moment because we're used to having to have to make the phone call, actually communicate, actually deliver a real service of what you can say you can do and not what you can post about you doing.
Posting about what you're doing instead of delivering it. Okay, how are ways that somebody can see if somebody just posting, like, let's say, I think I could rap, I could spit, Derrick, I want to get placed on the radio, and this guy's telling me he could get me on the radio in every different city, every different market. Is there a way that you could see the transparency in that if somebody's telling the truth?
Just ask him for the name and number to the person he did it for.
Is that not ethical?
Yes, it is. Very. If I'm finna trust you with 20 grand and you tell them that you can do all that you say you can do,
I need some
references. You should
references.
have no problem with me calling and asking somebody like, hey, did this person really do this for you? Did it happen like this?
Right.
It's easy. And then with us, you can go through everybody on our team. You can go through all of our social media pages. There's no sections and bottle popping and all of that shit. You'll see a rehearsal.
Yeah.
You'll see a studio session.
Work.
You'll see us getting on the plane. You'll see us passing out the flyers.
Right.
You'll see us signing autographs for a fan.
Right.
We actually make it a point to show you our work. I don't care about the final product of the music video. I want you to see the set, the lights, the cameras, the extras.
The work.
I want you to see all the work that went into it. So then when you see the final product, you know what? It's believable.
Right. Do you think that sometimes people show the ending but don't show the process enough? Do you think that could be a problem?
All the time. One of the main music programmers for Instagram, she just did a post talking about be way more authentic now. Like the things that is making people's social media or Instagram accounts move better is them being authentic. The staged post, the cool quotes and all the fake posed pictures and all of that stuff. Everybody's doing it. So you're in competition with the guy doing the voiceovers with animals talking, the baby dancing, the Instagram model, the person selling lashes, the person selling taxes, the person selling their marketing kit online, and you could be a best-selling author for $7 a week. You're in competition with all of those people.
Right.
What sets you apart? I can only be the greatest Derrick McKinney ever created.
But be authentic.
But let me just be me. So my friends from 1993 and 1994 are the same guys I hang with today.
Wow.
Like
That's rare.
There's my same circle of friends, my same high school teammates are the same people I still communicate with, I still talk to. I have friends that I met in the music business that I've had over 15 plus years.
Right.
And we may talk on the phone 10 times a month and never discuss music once.
But those are your friends.
Exactly. So it's very important in today's industry. Just look at reality TV. Now it's so scripted, but everybody really want to know who you are. Yeah. It makes your music believable. It makes your product believable. They're like, you know what? He's not only a client, he's the president. He's actually, he's actually really.
It becomes more believable if they could put a picture with it, with what they hear.
Definitely. If you just post a music video, that's no different than the other 200 guys posting music videos. Yeah. What makes your music video different?
Right. Just because you're doing the same thing. Derrick, why are people so interested in what's literally going on in the artists' lives as we're seeing the social media, and it's not going anywhere, so I can't call it a fad in my opinion.
At all. It's here to stay.
Yeah, so what's the attachment to where people, they don't want to just see Derrick's work. They don't just want to see, what you're doing. They want to be a part of it. They want to see what you ate for breakfast. What's that? How we get there?
I think it's because people are inherently nosy, but also I think it's more of a hate than love type thing. Social media has created a culture where people are looking for something to nitpick and be negative about before they support and be positive. So if you ever just look at your Instagram and you might have 200 likes on a post.
I don't get that many. I might get 5, Derrick. I'm not.
Here we go. So if I get like 200 likes on a post,
right,
people, I go look at it, but 3,200 people saw it.
That's true.
So those other 3,000 people, they're my followers.
Right.
They saw it.
What stopped you from touching the button that takes no time?
Right. There are people that'll follow you. I've had people on our Facebook page who will never share a post, never like, never come to an event. I'll do a free concert. They'll never come. But they look for the opportunity to debate or to argue or go against just to say, I argued with Derrick.
Right.
Because then they'll screenshot it and share it and all of that kind of shit and be like, that's what you wanted?
Like, what are you proving?
So I don't think people are, once you reach a certain level, I think people are actually influenced and intrigued about your day-to-day. But I think right now, for me personally, I think our company and our artists, we're at a level where people are watching to see like, yeah, I can do that. Oh, that's nothing special about that.
Well, you know what, Derrick, I've run into that. I've run into that sentiment where people just feel like they can do stuff. And my thing is, you probably can. But Derrick, is everybody willing to put in the work? What kind of work you put in, Derrick?
No, like man, we can easily, like a normal day is for me to go to bed. Like say if I go to bed, I'll get up about 7:30 in the morning. I'll be at the gym by 8. I'm out the gym by 10:30, 11. Today we had a studio session with one artist from 12 to 3. I went and had lunch with my wife. Then I have another artist, Zero. He's shooting videos today. Then I had to be here. And then when I leave from here, I'm going back over to the video shoot. I leave the video shoot. I'll go home. I got to send some emails and do some work. I'll probably tap out about 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But then I'm back up 7:30. Like it's literally. So
wait a minute.
There's
Derrick,
no
hold
options.
On. So you mean to tell me that you don't just hang out with celebrities, eat lobster, and everything just fall into place? Come on, Derrick. That's not what happens?
Man, look, it's more eating in the car, airport, on the go, grab what you can. Like it's not about, and then also just me as a person, I don't care about any of that shit. Like I as a person, I don't want to be, even if there's a VIP section at a club, I'm not in the VIP section.
Right.
You know, I don't.
Right.
I'm not bottles. It's just not me. I'm a normal dude. Everybody on our team are normal dudes, normal ladies, to where I like interacting with people. I don't want to do the celebrity Hollywood, don't come near me type shit.
Yeah.
That's not me, man. I love the work.
Right.
And it's when I think about my quote unquote resume or career, I never saw those things as work. I love what I do. So even if I'm up all day long and I realize like, man, the sun is coming up, it's not work. It was fun.
Right.
I love that. I love when the shit go wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love fixing things when like, okay, we're late on turning in the album. Let me see, how do I get it on this playlist? Oh, somebody said, no, we can't do this show. Okay. Let me do a show bigger than theirs so I enjoy that.
Right.
And you have to have some people call it their passion. I feel like you have to have a healthy obsession for what you do.
I like that.
You got to be obsessed. I don't think you can have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It can't be a part-time situation. You have to be obsessed with what you want.
Obsessed.
Man, like if you're not thinking about what you want to do, or where you want to be in whatever career, if that's not on your mind when you wake up, when you go to bed, when you're driving, while you're working on it, if you're not always, if it's not always on your mind, in your heart, just eating at you, like it's not for you.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll know when it's for you. You'll know when you're it's for me personally, and I don't like giving general statements of what people should be doing. But for me personally, I feel as if I just bust my ass every goddamn day, good, bad, no matter what happens, things will fall into place where they need to be.
Okay.
If you have any faith at all and you believe our steps are preordained, then just keep working and just keep living and keep doing it, because what's for you will be for you. You'll get to where you need to be.
Right.
But too many people, we want to dictate our route. We want to create alternate detours. I think I should, just stick to the script, trust the process, and bust your ass along the way, and everything you want to happen for you.
Do you find that sometimes people want to move too fast? Is this a thing? Is it a thing of patience? Derrick, did you just say, you know what, I'm going to get in promotions, I'm going to get in? Did it happen overnight?
Oh, no,
or is it a grind?
It was a grind, man. My mom hated it.
When
I graduated high school, I graduated at 17. And my uncle had got me a job working for Shell Oil in their computer programming department. So I was 18 the year after I graduated, I had my own apartment in New Orleans. We were making like $25 an hour.
At 18?
At 18.
That's balling.
And I didn't have to pay no bills. And our time started from the time we left our apartment and got in the company van to the time we got back.
Driving slow and
It was
everything.
an hour and a half to the job site.
Wow.
So we were killing. And my checks would go straight deposit. I just needed money to eat and hang out in Louisiana at the time. And I looked around and I saw all these guys that were 35, 40 years old, fat, bald dudes, all their snacks and stuff around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, this ain't for me.
I don't want to be like that.
This can't be me. So I quit.
Right.
And my mom, everybody was like, how do you just walk away from that? Because I knew it was not for me.
Yeah.
Man, my mom used to get so mad at me. She's like, why are you doing all this stuff for free? It's like, Mom, I got to get my name out.
Right.
Mom, I got to get my name out. But you ain't got no money. You ain't doing this. I said, I know, but it'll pay off. A year or two of that, of going out, and my homeboys, my 4 or 5 best friends, Sean, Dwight, Ezon, Leardis, and Nick. If they had cars, they'd come pick me up.
Yeah.
They helped me pass out the flyers. We wasn't getting paid. We was getting the clubs for free, so we wasn't tripping.
Right.
And then one day, boom,
it happened.
$14,000 check came in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
Promoting this project. And then my mom was like, is that nah, this is what.
She thought you was doing something?
Yeah. I was like, nah, this is, you see all these CDs, posters, and T-shirts? Our living room was covered.
Yeah.
And my mom's very, very neat freaks.
Yeah. So you had stuff all in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's how you was
that
moving.
$14,000 check on the table. She was
that's a lot of bills.
That's a whole lot of bills. And then it wasn't a one-time thing. So she was like, wait a minute. So people are actually paying you to do this? Yeah. Doing a concert, doing a party, and doing a concert and taking money that I might have saved up, a couple $100, and doing a small party and coming back at the end of the night with $3,200. Like, yeah, Mama, this is real.
Making money.
And so eventually she was like, you know what? I see.
Right.
Left it alone.
But I understand where Moms was coming from, because the uncomfortability of not having the insurance of a steady paycheck.
I've never cared about that. I've never cared about that.
So you were just like, you know what? I'm not worried about a steady paycheck. You believed in yourself?
Man,
would you believe in the process?
I believe in me more than anything on earth.
You could do it if you want to.
I believe in me more than anything on earth. And that's not some quote meme or when I am serious as a heart attack and cancer. Brother, I believe in me. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'll do it. February 2018, artist Tim Ned called me. Hey, Derrick, I ain't did no shows in a while. What's going on? I was like, man, I'm tired of doing club shows. Well, what we finna do? I said, we're gonna do a couple of festivals this year, and we're gonna lead the country. I didn't have shit lined up.
Yeah.
But that year, we ended up going to Japan.
Yeah.
We ended up doing shows in LA.
Yeah.
We ended up going to England. Next year, we ended up going to the Netherlands.
Y'all made me want to go to London.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We
shout out Tim Ned.
We did the tour with Ja Rule.
Yeah.
So he hasn't done a club concert since then.
Wow.
We've only done Live Nation venues. We did Sony Hall in New York, Texas Live in Arlington. I forgot the theater in Denver. Like, he's only doing arenas.
How did that come from relationships to where you can make that happen?
100%. So our touring agent, who I met online, I talked to him. I told him what we had, what we could be. I showed him our product. And then he set it up for us to go to London to an event. Went to London, Tim performed, shut it down. And he saw that it was just me and Tim there, but he seen how we kind of maneuvered around the whole city of London for our first time being there. And we left an impression on a lot of the festival promoters. So he was like, okay, Ja Rule got this show coming up. Let me get you guys on that one. We got on it, killed it. Next thing you know, they was like, hey. And then just from that show, I built a great relationship with Ja Rule's manager, Henrock. And me and Hen talk weekly still.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, man, we're going to be here. Boom. Okay, what city y'all? Okay, we there. And so it just snowballed. Show after show after show after show.
Right, based on relationships and hard work and doing good business.
Like, anything I say I'm going to do it. And if I can't do it, just know I went through hell and high water trying, and I'm going to let you know in enough notice, hey.
You're going to communicate it?
This can't happen, but we can do it. We can do this over here.
Okay.
That's the key.
Okay, now look, earlier we were going to get into the music of now, but I wanted people to thoroughly know who Derrick was. Okay. So now, Derrick, if somebody say, well, how's he qualified to talk to this? I would urge you to press rewind.
Yeah, take a listen. Take a listen. Then my wife convinced me to order some plaques today because I would never get plaques from projects I worked on.
Why?
Because at the time, I felt like I wasn't a significant piece of it. But in hindsight, people like, Derrick, remember you did this in Texas or you did that? It's like, So a friend of mine brought me an album. He was like, his name is Randall Dunn. He was an A&R for a company in Atlanta called Southern Music Distribution. And it was this artist I had named Lil Chris. Lil Chris was a radio DJ in Atlanta. He has a song called What's Your Fantasy? Boom. Ludacris.
Yeah, what's your fantasy?
So he gave me the records. I worked it. I got it all around Texas and mostly Houston and did my thing. And next thing you know, boom, he had to deal with Def Jam. Not saying it was because of me, but in hindsight, okay, I was the one here doing it while he was independent before he got the deal.
So you already working it?
Already working
it in advance, and then the windfall just came after.
Exactly. So it's no different. Same thing with D12 Purple Pills. D12 Purple Pills, they was already on Interscope. I snuck into a listening party they had. I snuck in.
Boy, you good at sneaking into them. Yeah. You learned that in high school.
You damn sure. I snuck into the music conference called Impact. I snuck into the conference. And that's a whole nother story.
Right.
And they had I was broke. I didn't have no money. In all the private suite listening parties, they had all the free food and drinks for all the DJs and executive people.
Right.
So
I'm getting in there.
I talked my way in.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I met Kevin Black, who was the head of promotions at Interscope at the time. And he was playing D12 Purple Pills. At the time, Rec Shop had just dropped Power Up with Big Mo and the Purple Drink and Poppin' Pills, and that whole thing was very popular. I was like, man, y'all should give me this song and let me take it to Houston and get it on Swisher, get it to Michael Watts for Swisher House.
Yeah.
Then Kevin Mike got on the mic. Hey, all my people in Houston, this would be great on your Swisher House and your screw tapes and slow it down, the Purple Pills. And he connected me with a guy there named Troy Marshall. And next thing you know, they sending me all the D12 stuff, and I got it around the city. And that next week, Michael Watts played it on his radio show on 97.9 The Box.
Man, that's big. That's big.
At the time, I was just sneaking in to make the connections and get the free food.
Right.
I snuck into the conference, and all I had was $32 for the weekend.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to go back and order that plaque. It went platinum.
What? Yeah, it did.
So
with your fantasy.
So I'm ordering the Ludacris single plaque. I'm ordering the Word of Mouth album plaque. The D12's Interscope Purple Pills plaque. I'm ordering that one. The T-Pain I'm Sprung. I'm ordering that one.
I'm Sprung? What did you do with T-Pain?
We was in Tallahassee, Florida, and TJ Chapman, he did more for it than anybody on the planet. He introduced it. My guy Casper, part of Hitman DJs, he took it to Georgia. I brought it to Texas, and I got it to all the DJs. And a lot of DJs in Houston was like, I ain't playing this whole ass nigga talk about I'm Sprung. I ain't paying that. He weak, man. But I see GT were two of the DJs that jumped on it. Next thing you know, he's headlining the Baby Dome at Prairie View's homecoming weekend.
Off from there.
Yeah.
Gone.
So for me, it's like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and order that plaque.
Man,
So,
I think you should. I think you should go ahead and receive the things that you've done. Let me ask you this. Sometimes I feel like I see a disconnect just watching from a distance. I'll see people that's trying to get into the promotion game, trying to get into the rap game, the advertising game, anywhere in the industry, and they feel as if they need a lot of money to come in. But most of the people I sit down and speak with, they came in without no money and worked their way up.
no money, no social media, no internet, none of that shit.
So you don't need money. What do you money or hustle?
I take hustle every day.
Hustle. What do you pair with the hustle?
If you art, if you can hustle and work your ass off, and have the heart to commit to it, you'll make the money. I don't focus on money. And not to sound cliche, I 100%. If I just do my job at a high level, the money will come.
E40 say have money, have heart.
Yeah, but I
hustle, have heart.
If we work our ass off and do our job, the money will come. You won't have to go out. A lot of people go out and they're chasing the check every day. There's no loyalty to anything.
That's all we hear, though, Derrick. That's all we hear. Chase the bag. Chase the bag. You rob the plug. Run off on this person. Take this. That's what we hear.
Because everybody want to say the cool catchphrases and create the next meme, the next hashtag, the next viral moment. But when in all actuality, everybody that's telling you that shit, they're sitting around with lawyers, accountants, publicists, managers, radio executives,
doing business,
marketing executives. They got 100 people working for them on a day-to-day basis, so they can sit back and say, yeah, I'm chasing the bag. No, you're not. They're chasing the bag. You just happen to be the person that can go on stage and perform. Right. You're the last piece of the puzzle.
So it's the mechanisms going on around you that's making it happen.
100%.
But you can project this image.
Look at how many artists. Look at how many artists that have left their team situation and did not thrive.
It happens a lot.
A lot. There's a reason. It takes a team. Yeah. I don't care what I'll say. If I do 1 million interviews in my life, I'll say it 1 million times. There's nothing I can do without the help of everybody on our team. Yeah. That's Bradley, David, Staso, Bliss, K. Rich, Dwayne, Hillo, even our graphics designers, Francisco and Necessary, some of our guys that shoot our videos, Director 9K, Andre Ladon, a new young cat we just linked up on the LA, Lance. Like, it's important that that everybody knows when you see a Cody Blake or a Tim Ned video or see he's on a new playlist, yes, he made the song, but he didn't put it on the playlist. It's the work of those other 10 people that made that happen.
Well, see, your thought process is almost coming full circle, because earlier you were saying how when you do a video, you're not going to just focus on the bottle popping, but you're going to show the lights, the cameras, the setup. That kind of correlates with what you're saying now. How important do you think it is to give people behind the scenes credit?
Oh man, that's the most important piece. ROI comes in many different forms. That your return on your investment comes from. I may be the CEO of the record company, but the only way I'm a good CEO is if I can put even better people around me. So I can only do what I do because I know there are other people doing what they do.
You could delegate.
That's the best part, man. You have to make sure that it's never my job to say, look at me. My work should speak for itself.
Right.
But it is my job to say, hey, look at him. This is the person that got this playlist. Right. This is the person that set up this show. Right. This is the person that shot the video. I'm charged with that duty to make sure I highlight the people around me.
Right. Look, we started talking about the game now. We're hearing a lot of people talk about independence, going independent, or being on record labels. But what we hear a lot are people saying, my deal is bad. I didn't know my deal was this bad. What's going on with the deals? Are we taking the time to learn?
They full of shit, man.
So they full of shit.
They full of shit because
Okay.
the deal wasn't bad when they were spending millions of dollars to get you there.
Okay.
The deal wasn't bad when you was on the private jet. The deal wasn't bad when it was hair and makeup, or it was wardrobe and new Jordans, or if it was limos and get here's $30,000 in a bag at Magic City, throw it in the air. The deals were not bad then, but what they don't realize is when an artist is not as hot as they used to be, or they start getting outside influences to, oh, you should do this. To me, hindsight is the worst thing ever. Because everybody's a genius after the fact.
It's always going to be bad after.
The genius in the room is the person that could see the star in you before you did.
Okay.
That's me. I'm the one I'll see the star in you or see what makes you great before you see it. Your job is to make sure that you don't let somebody else come in and tell you, well, they should have done this or you should have done that, because that person should have done what they said they could do before I even got in the picture.
So that outside influence, because we see that a lot, and we'll see artists and they'll be okay and they'll say, well, I talked to this person and they saying you owe me this. As the person, as they would say, you owe me this, what would be your retort to something like that?
So for me, it's always come down to I'm extremely transparent. I make sure that everybody knows what's going on.
Right.
So if you feel like I owe you something, come tell me I owe you and tell me why I owe you. And if I owe you, oh, damn, I made a mistake.
Okay,
I owe you. But also, I don't think enough artists take into account of how much money was put in, how much money that was lost, how much money that was invested to keep the lights on so you can continue to move and continue to do things. They only look at, they feel that too often artists feel like if the record company made $20 million, the artist should have made $30 million. Never mind the fact that the record company put up $15 million to make the 20.
Right.
And the artist put up none to make $5 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like financially, you're not invested. You didn't risk your life. You didn't risk your family. You didn't risk your home, your cars, your house to do it. I think it's fair that everybody should eat. Everybody should make money. Everybody should be comfortable. But at the same time, everybody should really, really have an honest account of what they did in that moment, in that situation.
Right.
So I can't demand that I get Tom Brady money just because I'm on a scout team and I'm a New England Patriot, just like he a New England.
You got to be honest with yourself.
You have
as an artist.
That's the only way. I got to be honest with myself as a CEO. I gotta and
in what form?
I have to make sure that, you know what, if this person is outperforming that person, I got to be honest enough to let both of them know what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong and how do we fix it.
Do you have to be able to deal with people
all the time?
I mean, like, because Derrick, if you tell me somebody's shit is better than mine, we might have a problem. How do you deal with those type of personalities going into that? Because is that tough?
It's tough, but I think with us, I don't work with nobody I don't like. And our team,
even if it's a lot of money,
I don't work with nobody I don't like. I've made that mistake before.
Okay.
Worst time of my life. So I don't pick projects based on finances.
Right.
It's everybody that's on our team. We're sitting in here today sending group jokes and stuff via IG. Like, we're in fantasy football leagues together. We come to my house for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, we actually hang out. So if there's an issue or a problem, we can communicate and talk to each other.
Your family.
If I don't feel like I can have that type of relationship with you, I don't want to work with you because you're not going to help me get any better.
Yeah.
Help me get better.
And you'll help them in return?
Exactly.
It's reciprocity.
I know I'm going to do my job. You can go to sleep every night knowing no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, Derrick McKinney is going to do his job to put you in the best position possible.
Okay, Derrick, I'm your artist, and you're my manager. As an artist, what do I do to be making the right steps so my manager could do his job correctly?
Be visible. Be vocal. Make sure you're on your social media the right way. Keep cranking out new product. Keep cranking out new content. Meet as many people as you can. Shake every hand, kiss every baby. Well, not in this COVID-19.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, help me grow your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Be relatable. Be personable. Make
Okay.
people love you for who you are.
Are there ever artists that feel as if, I'm me, I could do me, you do all of that?
All of them.
How did that work?
I think every artist starts off that way. Every artist starts off that way where they think it's about them and their music.
Uh-huh.
Over time, they start to realize, like, you know what? If it was only about you and your music,
Uh-huh.
you'd have been out here. You wouldn't need us.
Right.
You wouldn't need nobody.
Right.
I think once the artist, that light bulb comes on and they realize, it's like, you know what? It's like, I'm biased. I think Tim is probably the dopest producer in our area, in our market.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll send some stuff over and be like, nah, bro, this shit is whack.
So you have to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the only way we're going to win. That's the only way we're going to be successful.
Right.
If you got a yes man and people that co-sign everything that you do, they're setting you up for failure. They're not trying to help you, man. They just keeping one foot in the game just in case you blow. Man, I've been there, bro.
You know what I call those, Derrick? I have a name.
What are they called?
They're just in case people.
You know it.
Yeah, look, and sometimes they hate your dog ass, and they say, "But I'm gonna stick on close, just in case he make it."
We know people here in this city, the media outlets who blow smoke up our ass all the time, as if we don't know it. Like, bro, come on, we know exactly who you are. We know exactly what type of person you are. But we just watch and let them see how they move, and then we move on.
Right.
We see it all the time.
Right.
It's kind of like how it's the shit like, I knew you was going to make it. I knew this was going to happen. So
Right.
if you see me stranded on the side of the road and I ran out of gas and I'm pushing my car, then I get to the gas station and you want to congratulate me. I knew you was going to make it to the gas station. I seen you pushing uphill. I knew you was going to make it. I knew you had it in you.
Yeah.
But you never once thought that maybe I can get him a little quicker. Let me give him a ride, get a gas can, bring it back, fill up, and then that's never the thought.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants to be overly committal because then they can jump ship. They can be on this team. They can be on this team. They can be on that team.
Instead of fully committing to something and then having to stay with it, because then people are afraid to go down with the ship, Derrick.
Yeah.
And so,
all day long.
And so, do you look for that? Do you look for a certain level of loyalty?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. There's no gray area with me. None whatsoever.
I'm an artist. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get Derrick McKinney's attention. Mm-hmm. What do I do?
Outwork me.
Outwork you?
I said just outwork me.
Derrick, you don't sleep. So they just can't make you sleep less?
Yeah, like outwork me. Do something, because I've learned it's not about music. It's not about looks. It's not about who you know. Most of the most talented, gorgeous, well-groomed, good-looking people are the laziest, because that's what they're relying on to get them to where they want to be.
Right.
Very few artists are willing to spend their own money, their own time, and they think just because they went to the studio and recorded it and put it on iTunes or DistroKid or TuneCore that they're working.
Right.
But they're not finna press up 5,000 flyers and gonna pass out all 5,000.
You look at that?
Oh shit, yeah. They're not finna sit there and get themselves on a bunch of playlists. They're not gonna make sure their social media content reflects their music and not just a bunch of cute photos or just a bunch of photos of money in cars.
Right.
Like, I'm looking at you and I want to see how much of the business do you know.
What does that show you if somebody, you go on their page and they have work? Does that show you that they're worthy?
Absolutely. There's a young lady in Houston. She's a female rapper. I think she's probably the best female rapper to ever come out of this city.
What's her name?
Even in Texas. I won't tell you her name.
You won't tell me?
I'm
not gonna do nothing.
I'll
with
show
it.
you.
All right.
I'll show you, but I again, I'm not gonna just give free advertising.
Yeah, see, and that's what we gonna talk about too. That mind right.
But here's
here
what I
you
did
got.
do. I reposted her stuff. I sent her a message. If you ever need my help, just let me know. I don't want no money. I'm not trying to sign you. But I like what you're doing, and I think you got talent. So if there's something that you feel that you're lacking, that you need, just let me know.
And you're saying that being genuine.
100% genuine.
Do you find that a lack of genuineness?
Yeah, all the time.
In the game?
You got to think about it. In Houston, we had Rap-A-Lot Records, right? We had Suave House with Tony Draper, Rec Shop, but which label embraced R&B, top 40, pop, country, EDM? None of the above.
No.
So
You have artists that encapsulate all of those things at the same time.
so I'm trying to set a new standard of you don't have to move and relocate, and I don't have to have you under my thumb to help you. You don't have to lose in order for me to win, and vice versa. There's a young lady here. She's a black female country singer. She's not signed to me. I don't manage her. She's not on the label, but these are the playlists you need to be on. Let me help you get your Pandora's
You're willing
channel
to help.
set up. Let me make sure you're performing on this show. I'm gonna make sure you're one of the headliners at this event because you're dope for what you're doing in this city, and I need you to win because every win is a bigger light on this city. It's just like every time New England won a championship, you know how much more money that brought into Boston?
Right.
Every
How
time.
much better it made their team because they could go get new people just based on what they've done.
Exactly. So it for us as a record company, let's just say with Loudfest, I put 100 of the top indie artists on one event. That's 100 indie artists talking about me and my company.
But you treat them well.
Oh yeah, they get flyers, press releases. They're doing like 30 media interviews.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm not treating them like second class citizens.
Right.
So now when they're in position to win, I've had artists say, man, if you treat us like this just for this show, how would you work for us if we're a part of your label?
Wow.
And that makes them want to sign. I don't have to ask to sign.
Right. That, you know what? That's huge, especially when you're in the industry when you don't really know what you're going to get out of people. And so when it comes down to the marketing aspect, the advertising aspect, to me, I'll be honest with you. You up there, we're going to put you on Mount Rushmore.
Come on, man. I take it. I receive it.
We're going to put you on Mount Rushmore. I call you a gorilla. A gorilla. I put gorilla. Because I've watched the way that you do it and the tenacity and the intestinal fortitude that you show. I sat there with you in the meeting, and you're so poised, but it seems like the focus is there. Where did you learn these marketing tactics? Where'd you get that mind from?
I read, bro.
Okay.
Like I'm a people person, and I've read a lot of books in the past 5-6 years. Like I've maybe read, I don't know how many, man. I've read every Russell Simmons book, every Damon John book, Steve Stout's Turning of America, Barry Gordy's book, Jimmy Iovine's book, David Geffen's book, Steve Harvey's book, 48 Laws of Power, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I just read anything that denotes success.
Right.
I read it. And then I study people. I study their actions. I study what makes them tick, what they like, what they don't like. And I try to figure it out.
You sound like you pay a lot of attention.
Oh, man, I'm a people watcher.
You pay attention to detail?
I want to know what song you listening to. What movie you watching. I can tell what restaurant. If I can go to a restaurant and I can look at people at the table and I can tell from the clothes that they're wearing and what they order, I can tell the type of person they are. So I know how to approach them for how the marketing needs to be.
That helps in business?
Oh, man.
Understanding?
All the time. Because there's a book that one of my business mentors, Charles Key, put me on when I was like 19 years old. It's called How to Look Like a Sheep But Sell Like a Lion.
Ooh.
So
look like a sheep, sell like a lion.
So if you ever go buy a car and they say, what color you want? Pick a color.
Black.
Black, okay. Leather or cloth seats?
Leather.
Sunroof?
Yes.
Okay. Power windows, power locks?
Absolutely.
Okay. 4-door, 2-door?
4.
Okay. You want to see your satellite radio in there already?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So by the time you've done all of that, you've picked out what you want.
Okay.
Are you going to say no to yourself?
You've built up what you want already.
I ain't had to sell you nothing.
You told me what you want. You just asked the right questions.
So when we're doing our marketing for our albums, I'm a firm believer. I'm not going to let you tell me how you feel about it. I'm going to tell you how you should feel when this song come on. Everybody in the world is going to feel like this. So my flyers, my marketing, the memes we create, the viral videos, everything is going to encapsulate that feeling of what it should be.
Okay.
So when it comes all out and you finally hear it, in your mind, okay, so this is the song, this is how I'm supposed to feel, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing it. I won.
Right. So it's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that mindset into the the designer, into the people working with you? Because it seems like that would take a group effort, and it seems like it would take a group of people moving in the same direction. Yeah. Man, Derrick, I be trying to get people to move in the same direction. It's like herding wild cats.
Man, we got a group chat. We'll drop flyers, some ideas in there. Now, here's the hard part. I don't bring every idea to everybody.
Okay.
Sometimes too many opinions can actually slow down the process.
Make you think too much?
Make you think too much, and then you're trying to appease 8, 9, 10 different people. You'll never move forward.
Right.
Some people will object just because they want to object.
Right.
So sometimes I'll narrow it down to 1 or 2 choices like, hey, we're going A or B, left or right. Which one are we going to do? Well, I'm not really feeling, I get it, which one, A or B?
Right.
And then once we have an album cover or something, then I'm going to show you what the T-shirt look like, what the hat look like. This is the treatment for the video. This is what the poster look like. When you do this part of the song on stage, this is how you need to look when you do this. I'm going to give you the whole layout.
Right.
So now I think one of my talents is, I think I would like to call myself, I'm a visionary.
Okay.
When I have an idea.
You can see it.
Start to finish.
Start to finish.
Start to finish. When I have an idea,
no gray areas.
Nah, none at all, bro. When I have an idea or I hear something I think it should look, I can tell you how it is. I can tell you what it's going to look like. I can tell you what everybody's going to do.
How much of that is experience from dealing with so many things?
I think a part of it today, a large part of it today is experience, but I've always been instinctive like that. I've always been instinctive like that. That's just been one of my natural things. I can get an idea, figure something out. And I was the one at 16 years old with me and my homeboys. We getting rental cars, renting beach houses, going down to the Capitol Beach party and figuring like how.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've just always been able to, once I get an idea, by the time I call you with an idea,
it's done.
75 to 80% of it's done. I'm just bouncing off you to double check a few things, and then I'm gonna present it.
Wow. Look, there's something that I want to ask you about before we get done with this. Music now, we're hearing a lot of people say there's no positive music or everything. Everybody talking about the WAP or things like that. Do you think that that's the direction of music, or is that just what we're seeing? What's going on with the direction of music right now?
I think it's all of the above, boss. I think we've allowed ourselves to get sucked into this culture of this it's either a cancel culture or a negative culture or everybody's super opinionated culture. Social media has given everybody a voice.
Okay.
Again, go back to what I said. Sometimes you don't need everybody's opinion to make something happen. And I think that's what social media has done. I think musically, there's certain songs that you'll hear on urban radio that you won't hear on pop radio.
Okay.
So there'll be one version to a song on urban radio. Then when you hear that version on a pop station, like, wait a minute, those ain't the words. So there's somebody that is intentionally putting vulgar, explicit, trash ass songs on urban radio. That's your community station.
Yeah.
Your community station is giving you the music talking about killing, fucking on a bitch and all of this stuff. And they just bleep out half of the curse word.
But you still
hear everything that's being said.
The full context.
But you take the exact same song and go up the dial to your number one for hits. Your pop station and top 40 station. And that same song, it don't sound nothing like it. So the music is there, and the very same artist that's creating the records that we feel like is damning our community, they're going back in the studio creating cleaner version for their community.
Well, who's on top of that? Why are we seeing this dynamic?
Well, because there's most of the time It's a dude not from our area, not from our culture,
Okay.
who've never lived a day in our lives, making a decision because now he's the cool guy working with the rap black guy.
So
So
now he can sag a little and walk with a little limp.
yeah,
he
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
he's from the hood, but
Exactly.
he not.
Nah, never been. And it's they look for the triggers and the buzzwords that trigger analytics, but we're not the analytics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not the ones moving the numbers.
Right.
So when they do these things that little Timmy is sitting in his dorm room listening to while he's studying for his MBA,
Right.
little Johnny is over here in the streets trying to mimic what he's seeing to get the money.
Right. So little Johnny is really trying to live that life. Little Timmy is just a fan of that life. And then little Timmy grow up and be in charge of the music.
And little Timmy grow up and he's the one prosecuting, locking up little Johnny.
Yeah, and Timmy's brother is in charge of the music.
So I definitely think music today, and there's a lot of really dope music. There's a lot of really positive music.
Yeah.
And it showed me that during the quarantine when all the DJs were going live and when D Nice did his thing and had millions of followers, just look at the music they were playing.
Yeah.
They weren't playing any of the new stuff.
Right.
They weren't playing any of the super vulgar trap stuff. They was playing all late 80s, early 90s hip hop and R&B, early 2000s hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
And everything was different. We had feel good records, we had party records, we had
variety.
love records. We had like what is this? What is it about that scares people about black people loving each other?
Right.
Why can't we get music about black love? Why we can't get music about uplifting each other and supporting each other? Why is it that the only records we gotta have? If you listen, all the women right now are making overly sexualized records in rap, and all the dudes are crying and singing about what they never had, and they got it out the mud, and they've been heartbroken, and the hood don't love them, and my teacher told me I wasn't gonna never make it. And like now you got all these dudes singing these crying ass rap songs, but now the girls, they popping ass and
they
popping
hard.
Bottles, and
Yeah.
they thugging it.
Fuck a trick,
You
take
know-
his money.
So
All that.
look what they're telling our community. Look at what they're putting on your number one for hip hop and R&B station.
Well, Derrick, when we have this conversation, a lot of the women artists and even women or people who support the artists they'll say, well, the women aren't doing nothing that the men didn't do. They're only taking it in their hands now.
Right, and that's a very, very valid point. And my answer to that has always been, at that time, 13 to 24-year-old kids didn't have it in the palm of their hands. We didn't have the access. We didn't have the visuals and so many different things that was controlling our day-to-day lives. And I think social media and the internet and a lot of the laws of and parenting ability now has made kids a lot more sensitive. You know, suicide is the second leading cause of death between the ages of 13 and 24. So the kids in that age are so impressionable. They're dealing with so much.
Right.
Why do I give them a record telling them about killing people?
Constantly.
Over and over and over again.
Right.
So we can talk about what people said 20 years ago on the record, but we were different kids 20 years ago.
Right.
See, I think that accountability in music and in culture, it can't be out of convenience. It can't be empowerment on this day, but then it's degrading the next day. It can't be uplifting and owning who you are on this day, but then when he does it, it's exploitation.
Right.
Nah, females can exploit females too.
Right. Cut it the same.
It's no difference. Like it has to be the same way across the board, in my opinion.
Right.
Like and just I don't have a problem with the Cardi B Meg Thee Stallion record. I don't have a problem with what they said. I don't care about how they said it.
Right.
I don't care about the video. None of that bothers me. But what does bother me is the timing of it. I feel like any record after all these record companies and all these internet people and everything, we stand with Black Lives. We're having a blackout.
Right.
So if you really stand with us,
Let us look good.
stop
Positive.
giving us this bullshit.
Right.
Stop force feeding our radio with records that's about
Right.
killing each other. Stop making our women having to dance and twerk. Have you ever seen Justin Bieber go into a record company office and stand on the table and dance?
No.
Have you? Taylor Swift ain't got to stand in front of a room full of executives and shake her ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if you really stand for our community and our people, like, you know what? Instead of trying to say, let me find the next person to replace this hood trap rapper. Let me find the next J. Cole. Let
Right.
me find the next Kendrick. Who's the future KRS-One?
The next builder.
Like let me let me find the next Jay-Z.
Right.
Let me find that one that actually is going to change the game up in the community. So I don't have a problem with what they said in the record because they haven't said anything that had been
That's
said
not
by
new.
male
Right.
before.
That's true.
I get it.
Right.
But when we're coming off of this Black Lives Matter movement, this modern day civil rights movement, George Floyd's death, then the unfortunate domestic situation that Meg Thee Stallion had just went through with Tory Lanez, and then this is the first record you drop
Right after.
after that.
Right.
I feel like the timing was very bad.
You think it's taken away from the overall messaging?
100%.
Of the time?
Say the video had 53 million views the first day,
Uh-huh.
right? Could you imagine if something about Breonna Taylor
Oh
had 53
wow!
million views?
Oh,
on
we'd
that?
have monumental movement.
So
That's a great way to.
and-
That's a
and-
great analogy.
And I'm not saying that they're the saviors or all the pressure is on them.
But it's there.
every little bit
it's
helps.
there. It's there, especially in the times that we're living in. Do you look at these? Even some of the companies. I'll be honest with you, Derrick. I feel like a lot of the companies now are they're not really acquiescing to black people. They're just kind of changing their model so they continue to make money off of black people.
Ooh, we don't want to piss you off and get the backlash. So let's put this one
It's
person
cool
in
now.
place. Yeah, let me do this right here. So we're like, hey, it's a lot of when we were out in San Francisco and in Napa, we seen a lot of places with Black Lives Matter signs in the window. And
In
I was telling
Napa?
my wife,
You never see that before in the past.
they just making sure that hey, we don't want no vandalism.
Keep selling us
we
your
don't
money.
want to.
Yeah.
We're good. So I just feel like, and let me be clear. 300 ENT, the very next day, that Tuesday we had the blackout, and that very next day, the first post they made was some young brother in the car with a big ass gun, and all of his partners got guns, and I was like, so this is the first thing that you release
Right.
after you just said you support Black Lives Matter, you stand with the black community, and then this is what you give us.
It's just something to say at a point in time.
So it's not about women or these ladies who are on this platform doing this. To me, anybody that's releasing new records and new
conscious of the
content,
times.
be conscious of the times.
Yeah.
We're at a very pivotal moment that could reshape our kids' future at this time.
Right.
And I don't think if you're not thinking global, if you're not thinking big picture like that, we're always going to come up on the short end of the stick.
You know what a buddy of mine told me? Because I asked him the same question. I said, well, male rappers been rapping about this stuff forever. And he said, shit, Tyrone, you don't ever want to grow up? And I was like, well, I'm not talking about me, but I understand what he's saying. It's almost like if you're doing the same thing, we've heard that analogy. If you're doing the same thing at 40 than you were doing at 20, you just wasted 20 years.
Easy.
So is that what you hear when people say, well, we done it back then? Are we refusing to grow? Or is it just
I think
where the bag is?
I think it's a bullshit excuse.
Just a bullshit
I
excuse?
think listen, if you want to be a hoe, like if you want to be a straight dude, like man, let it be what it is.
But everybody don't really want that, Derrick. It's easier to rap about it than to be that.
You know, yeah, but if you want your music to be about it, just say no. This is what my music is about. Don't dress it up and say this is empowerment. This is this like no, it's not.
I always say, well, does naked mean you're empowered?
You never see the empowered conversation behind. I just got my master's degree.
Yeah,
I just bought a new house.
I'm naked. I'm empowered.
So that's where I say like people pick and choose when they want to use certain things. And that a lot of that is what hinders. It's me and my wife. We had this debate once where we were talking about how if you look at anytime there's a major movement going on, black women are the ones that are used
to divert
shake it up and divert the attention.
yeah.
So the feminist movement threw off the civil rights movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
They wanted to vote. They wanted
Yeah.
to do this.
The women's lib
and
movement.
white women got everything they needed to get, and our sisters was left stuck out.
You know what I say about them movements right now? I think it's about 160,000 black girls that are missing.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the outcry?
Yeah. Well, where are the feminist movements? Where's the Me Too movement? Where are all these? And even though a black woman created the Me Too movement, it was hijacked by white women in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, and then they locked up all the black men, but didn't get any of the white men until they just got Epstein.
Right.
And then they killed him. But it's like, be more cognizant of the moment that we're in.
We're adding on to that perpetuated thought when we do these things in these moments.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
If let's say if in a perfect world, George Floyd's death had never occurred.
Okay.
Breonna Taylor had never gotten killed.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmaud Arbery had never gotten killed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was summertime in Houston, summertime in Miami.
Do the
and
thing.
Just
Do the thing.
We're at a good space in America, in the world, in our lives, in our culture. And then at that point, let the record just be that party record for what it is.
Yeah. You know what, Derrick? And this is why it got to me, and I wanted to speak to you about it. When the WAP song came out, I was doing some work on the computer, and somebody sent it to me, so I decided to take a break. I walk out of my room. My daughter's walking past me. She's 17 years old. I said, I didn't think too much of it. Flip around a couple days, so to the other day, I'm walking in the house now, and I'm watching Cardi B interviewing the presidential nominee of America. And again, I see my daughter walk past me. Hi, Dad. And so what hit me is like, I don't know if it's true or not, but based on perception, what is she going to think the path of least resistance to success is? Being like this, or continuing to go to school, continuing to make the right decisions? Because she went from WAP to interviewing a presidential nominee in a couple days.
And so, and I don't think, I think as fathers we might look at that perspective, because we're and my daughter is 14 and she's like, Dad, you have a double standard. Like, yep.
Yeah.
I will always have a double standard. I'm treating you different than I treat my son.
Yeah.
And I told her straight up, I said, baby,
different
here's
world.
the thing. With him, I got to worry about one penis. With you, I got to worry about 1,000,000.
Wow.
So I am going to be different with you. And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 100% correct when you're saying you're watching this like, what is she going to think? So if I become a stripper, then reality show person, and then rap, and then make these records, I can interview the next president.
It looks cool, too.
As opposed to, I can go to school and get this education and go to law school, and let me run for office, or get a journalist degree, and I can, like,
yeah.
And I put just as much, when it comes to education and social responsibility, I put just as much pressure as on my son. I let my son know, like, hey, you don't do nothing to no girl that you don't want done to your sister.
Right.
You don't put your hands on no female. You don't be inappropriate with no female. You focus on your books. You play football. Like, you do your thing. If you have a girlfriend, you be respectful, you be mindful, you focus on becoming an entrepreneur once you're done playing football. I put those same response, like I made him read the Willie Lynch letters. I sent him different books, and I got him studying the stock market, and so I put that same pressure on him to be great in his world as well, and to be respectful. Like, man, he knows we don't do that pants sagging, hanging down, just because I don't want you to be perceived as some knucklehead when you are a college man.
Right. Those are very good points, and I think the right amount of pressure, it does show that you're paying attention and you love them. Being a dad, I'm going to relate this to rap because it's something that I notice, and we'll wrap it up. You know, I could talk to you for 10 hours.
Hey, man.
And we still, and then we take lunch and come do it again.
Yeah.
But when it comes to rap and being a father, I used to think this. To be a rapper, you couldn't have a father, because all the rappers that I knew, all the rappers that were popular and who made it, they never rapped about their dads. There was no dad. It was always, I have no mom. I have no dad. It's me and my moms. Is that the truth? Is there was there something real to that? Or why did I feel like that was the dynamic?
That was the greatest story to sell. It was PR. It's a spin. Take it to let me take you another direct correlation to that same scenario.
Okay.
When you watch the NFL draft or NBA draft, how many dads you see sitting at the table?
Not really, not many.
When you go to these camps, these Rivals, Three Stripes, Adidas camps, it's full of single mothers.
Yes, a lot of mothers.
When you go to the college camps, when guys are trying to get offers, where do you see a lot of single mothers?
Yeah.
One of the biggest issues in Little League football that the coaches have is all the single mothers.
Right.
It's not that dads aren't involved. It's just that a lot of, I feel like with the music industry, college coaches, high school and youth sports coaches, it's much easier. I don't have a man to have to worry about.
Right.
I can manipulate this situation and do what I want.
I could prey on you. Wow.
So you're a young kid in the hood. Just sign right here. You finna get your mama a new house.
Right.
I'm gonna give you this money. Like, never mind that publishing the back
there to put the brakes on.
During my son's recruiting process, you don't know how often we heard, "Hey man, you're about to be a grown man. You got to make the decision." So you mean to tell my son that I've raised him his whole life?
Oh, they want to keep him away from you.
Yeah, that's and them not knowing that I do marketing, I was the one controlling his Twitter. So you talking to me? Yeah, we weed y'all out left and right.
Yeah,
and that's what they don't understand. That's what a lot of them didn't care to understand. They didn't want to know.
Right.
They don't want to talk to the father. They don't want to talk. They don't. Oh, this kid got a father in his life. Oh man, so he's a little bit more grounded.
Yeah.
He got a male influence that might be letting him know the real of how things really happen.
Right.
I can't dangle this carrot and these bells and whistles in front of him.
Right.
And prey on the emotional side that he's getting from his mother. Then prey on his emotional mother.
Right.
That's 100% a thing.
That's a thing.
That is, I feel like that's a thing in music, and that's definitely a thing in sports.
Yeah, it was just something that I felt like I noticed to the point to where, like I said, I even start thinking of songs, and I could think of a million songs where mothers are highlighted and the struggle a mother go through, and I'm not taking away from any of that because I recognize that. But I do recognize that there are a lot of good fathers out here too, and I feel like, Derrick, if we only focus on fathers being gone, when is the narrative of the good father going to actually be perpetuated?
That's where those of us who are good fathers got to make sure we're out front and center. We out front and center. It's as much as people may hate it, or much as people don't like it, or like, no, I am overbearing when it comes to my kids.
Yeah,
son and daughter. And I don't care. I was talking to some guys the other day, and a gentleman was asking, like, man, his son is 23, and his fiance's dad, his soon-to-be father-in-law, got out of line and threatened him because him and his daughter was arguing. And he was like, man, the dad was asking, how should I handle it? I said, man, look, all of us who are over 23, we knew at 23 we wasn't grown.
Yeah.
I said, let some father talk to my son at 20. Let somebody get out of line with my son at 30. I'm coming.
That daddy not going nowhere. The
never
instincts.
It never. I'm 40.
I
was in L.A. a couple of weeks ago. My dad texts me and called me every day. Y'all work? Y'all safe? Y'all eat?
Yeah.
Where y'all at?
The fatherly instincts.
Cool. It goes nowhere.
Right.
Like I said, I'm 40 years old, and I talk to my dad every single day, either phone call or text.
Yeah.
I talk to my mom every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So as a father, I only know how to be one way.
Right.
I talk to my son every day.
Right.
He's at college. I still tell him, how was your workout?
Yeah.
How's class?
Yeah.
What's going on campus? What the coach is saying. Like every single day.
Right.
And so he knows what to do with his kids.
Absolutely.
He has to know. And I tell him, I said, man, look, when my son was going into his senior year, we went to the football camp at Sam Houston University. We left Sam Houston University, drove to Baton Rouge, went to the LSU camp. Spent the night in Louisiana, left there, drove to Bama for the Alabama 3-day camp. Left there, drove down to Tulane in North Texas.
That's that McKinney hustle.
Like, listen, man, we going to each spot, and I'm showing you how to check in the hotels, how to order your food at your restaurants.
Right.
how to meet, how to shake somebody's hand and look him in the eye.
Yeah.
So when you out on your own and you're in different parts of the country, you're not shook.
These things are in you.
You know how to move. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to conduct yourself.
Right.
Those are the things that, as fathers, we have to do more of.
Right, man. Derrick, you're saying some things that are they're very tangible and important, and things that I think that need to be perpetuated and emulated, and people need to see. And I think it's important to see it in the music. But Derrick, I want to ask you this, man. I know it's getting late.
Yeah, that's what we got.
What do you have coming up? What do you got? What is Loud Music have in the future?
So we have a project called The Art of Ratchet. It's featuring Tim Ned and the Dallas artist Fat Pimp.
Okay.
I always compare, like, if you can visualize 2 Chainz and Kanye West doing an album together. This is what it is.
That'll be fire.
We have more music coming from Tim Ned, a solo project. We have more music coming from Cody Blake. More music, a new project coming from Skyra Bliss. We have Loud Fest coming up December 5th and 6th. We have Next Vodka coming up. We have our own vodka that's going to be launching. The vodka will probably launch in the spring. I'm sorry, it'll probably launch January, February 2021, because most of the hand sanitizer mixture is vodka mixtures. So right now the world's using up all the vodka ingredients.
Right.
But we're going to flip the script, and my partner is in Dallas, Premier 360, the largest black-owned spirit and wine distillery in the U.S. We're about to go ahead and launch a bourbon that should be out for the holidays. So we'll have our own bourbon coming out for the holidays.
I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah, man.
I'm a bourbon man.
Yeah, you won't have to look. You won't have to look, man. I'm gonna bring it back to you, man. So
absolutely.
Just continuously growing, growing as a company, growing as people. Our artists are growing and getting better. We just did a nice, really good partnership with a brand out in LA. So now we have our own home base in LA. So when we go to LA, we got our own recording studios, our own offices, so we can make that commute back and forth more often and know we can go there and get work done.
That's big.
So we just signed a new distribution deal. Haven't said who the company is with just yet, but be a pretty nice, really, really dope distribution deal. Gives us coverage in 46 different countries around the world. Yeah. So now we literally have, I think we were global at first, but now I feel like we're officially global because our music, and we can go to Japan and go to the office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's big, man. Being able to do things in different places and handle business.
And it's all 100% controlled and owned by us.
Wow.
There's no middleman. There's no, this person a favor or this person, like, nah.
Yeah.
Everything that comes from us comes from us.
That's big.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Derrick, it was nice having you, man.
Man,
look,
it was nice being here, brother. I appreciate you.
You know I'm going to ask you to come back. I want to talk about distribution.
Come on.
I want to talk more about advertisement.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about what it's like to be a CEO and work our way back before being a CEO. It's so much we want to talk about. But, man, I thank you for coming.
Nah, man, I appreciate you having me, man. Anytime you need me, I'm on standby.
Where do they find you?
Everything is loudmusic.com, LOUDMUZIK. Instagram, official live.